So the way we do it is I help you to mentally disassociate yourself from the part of your brain where the urges and the cravings are coming from. So at the back of your brain here, at the bottom of your skull, you have the most primitive part of your brain. It's developed in humans first, and it's responsible for survival, and it's interested mostly in eating, mating, and killing. Very, very simple, very primitive. And it's called the lizard brain, the reptilian brain. It's called the lizard brain because it's the dominating part of the brains of lizards, right? So when you think about it, that's what lizards are, very, very primitive. And all they know what to do is eat, mate, and kill. Okay.
Yeah.
But we as humans, we've developed a very, very sophisticated part of the brain, and it's called the prefrontal cortex, and it sits right here. And that's where all your aspirations are, goals, logic, language, music, anything that you can associate with being human. That's where it lives. It's your higher cognition, your decision making for your brain. That's where you live. The most important thing is that your higher cognition, your prefrontal cortex, is wired to override your lizard brain. Okay? In a moment of heat, when you're facing and you're facing that craving, you are run by your lizard brain. Those cravings and the urges are coming from the lizard brain. It sees food, it wants to eat. And because it's being targeted with those really addictive foods, it just wants to eat. Okay? So you are wired to override your reptilian brain. Right now, because you're so dysregulated, you are being run by your reptilian brain. My coaching teaches, it basically trains your cortex to override that reptilian brain. So it's basically moving your decision-making from impulse to intellect, which as a human you build, right? So to give you an illustration of how that works, how that mechanism works. So when you get really mad at somebody, sometimes probably like, oh, I could kill that person. How often do you go and kill them? So the impulse to kill, perceived danger, reptilian brain kicks in, kill. And then your cortex kicks in and goes like, oh no, I don't want to kill that person because I don't kill people, because we live in a society where we don't kill people, because I have dinner plans tonight, because I don't want to go to jail, blah, 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 right? A lot of logical reasons. We use the training that I teach you uses that mechanism, right? So you will be, when you're faced with that eat impulse, I will help you train your cortex to find logical reasons why you actually don't want to do it. The same way it is with killing. Or when you're walking on the street and you want to pee, you don't just do it on the sidewalk, right? Because you are a grown, logical person, civilized person who knows that you need to find the toilet and you need to do it that way. You will learn and practice to do the same thing with making decisions. So the biggest breakthroughs happen in the first month. Sometimes even after the first couple of sessions, sometimes even after the consultation, because the whole idea of separation kind of resonates with people. The first couple of weeks to a first month, you will see noticeable changes in your way of thinking and in the way you're actually looking at those foods. Neuroplasticity is basically how your brain changes. Your brain, scientists used to think that your brain is hardwired, and as you're born with it, that's how you've got it, right? It's not true. So they discovered recently, some years ago, that it's not actually, that cells of the brain restructure themselves, rebuild, and move all the time. The actual physical parts of the brain, not any woohoo kind of magic, right? The actual cells. And it's called neuroplasticity. So it's basically neurons get connected. Neurons are connected to each other, and the impulses go from one neuron to another in a neural connection. That's how you build a habit, right? So as you use that circuit, it gets stronger, stronger, stronger. Each time you use it, it gets stronger. If you stop using it even once, even if when you're distracted just once and do something different, a different neural connection starts building and this one dies. So of course, you'll get, what happens is you'll get the first breakthrough. It will be an aha moment. It will give you that elevated, I say will, because that's what typically happens. Of course, it's different for everybody, right? But you get that aha moment that kind of makes the change easy for you, but then it takes time to that connection to die and that connection to build. New challenges will come through, right? Which will have to be addressed. but the main, the biggest aha moments usually within the first month.